you really love this story, don't you?
Yeah, this is such a great privilege. You know, we get these things that suddenly come into our lap, and I got a letter, the most amazing letter, and you get with someone who's directing the play and seems to almost know me. You know, it's like they've been reading my mail or something. How do they know I'd be so interested in this character, Gaev? You know, and I had always loved the play. It's about involved with a cherry orchard, and I've had orchards everywhere since I was 14. But I didn't really like the younger characters, you know, when I started in college and things. But all of a sudden, I'm reading this letter, and I've aged into the great part in the period. I gotta go do this. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, look, you are of course playing a great part, playing Gaev, and it's a role that Sir John Gielgud performed obviously at the RSC. But Gaev as a character. Little bit of a baby, would you say? I mean, how would you put it?
Yeah, I guess, you know, I did a little bit of AI stuff with that.
Yes,
yeah, because I wanted to find out what were the typical qualities that actors had when they got into a production. What were they doing, you know? And I really realized I was, you know, AI, I guess it's got a lot of dangers there, but it's basically Google on steroids. You know, you get a lot more information and you find, and I really wanted to feel like I'm solidly convinced that I'm going in a direction nobody else has done.
Perfect. All thanks to AI.
Yeah.
One of the great uses.
It may be a delusion of mine, but I'm really, I came late to this because, you know, Kenneth has a champion and, you know, had this idea of what he's doing now. He's doing Tempest during the day and at night and rehearsing with us during the day. It'd be like, you know, performing at night and probably getting another album ready or something. But wow, he's doing it. And Helen was involved. But this notion of Gaev came just probably in February or March and something.
Yeah.
But it's a great institution. You know, the RSC, I just have so much admiration for, and one of the main places you feel it is when you go get a fitting for costume.
Yeah.
They just exquisite, nothing, you know, spared, and so I'm excited.
I'm sure that costume fitting must really get you into that role. But also, I have to ask, obviously doing something at the RSC with an American accent. Is that something that you imagined for your version of Gaev?
Yeah, well, no, it's really is that Tamara Harvey is the director, and she's, you know, really incredibly creative and pushing envelopes to look at these plays not as historical relics, you know, but to put it in our time. And there is that both Helen Hunt and I and the woman that plays our daughter, or her daughter, is speaking an American accent. Oh. And I think that is a whole idea. Well, what about a failing aristocracy? You know, right now there's a few very wealthy people in America doing way too well, but there's also those that are, you know, going into decline, going through a great change, you know, and suddenly don't have the privileges. You know, it broadens the scope, I think, of the play, so you can see it from other contexts. I think it's not, I haven't been told not to say it, but Kenneth has an Irish accent. And so class and everything becomes part of it.
It's really clever. It does widen it out, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going on at Stratford. But Andrew, am I right in thinking that you and George, you went to Stratford on a school trip?
We did, yeah.
Didn't necessarily see anything though.
Andrew.
No, didn't see as much of that which we were supposed to as we were supposed to. Yeah, 12th night. I think we'd endured whatever it was, and then the second night was 12th night, and that we lasted about 20 minutes, and then went to the pub.
Yeah, cannot condone that for a school trip.
We were.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we were probably under drinking age, probably 16 we were, so but we went to the pub anyway.
There you go. Again, cannot condone that on a school trip.
No. You can see Bill in the Cherry Orchard at the RSC's Swan Theatre in Stratford-upon-Avon from the 10th of June.